Tell you what, man, those cymbals are coming through from the toms, and I dig it. I was going to clean them up, get them isolated, but I don't know. I think we're going to leave the cymbals coming through. We're going to leave the bleed. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Pro Mixer David Glenn. Welcome back to the Mix Academy. We've got my man Colton and his beautiful wife Claudia. They are the Maze, and this song is called Clean Hands, Pure Hearts. Super excited to dive into the vocals here with you guys on this stream. I'm not sure how long we're going to go, but we've got these vocals to get in. I figured, man, let me pull this up. It's been a minute. Had a couple of health issues happening since the last time we streamed, and so I figured let's pick back up and get at this here. So if you're new to the Mix Academy, go ahead and check out the links in the description. I've got the Headphone Mixing Blueprint for you to download for free. I'm going to show you what gear I'm using, what plugins I'm using to calibrate my headphones, my frequency-focused referencing technique to help you. This is the best technique in the world for mixers. It's going to teach you how to reference like a pro, and we're really going to dig in and show you that entire process in the free guide, along with a ton of other stuff. Everything I know about mixing on headphones, multi-platinum mixer, over 4 billion streams now. 95% of it has been mixing on headphones. So I love mixing on monitors, but traveling and everything we've been through over the last 5 or 6 years, it's been just headphones. So a little nervous, forgive me. I am not feeling so great. We are kind of going through the ringer here a little bit. So if you enjoy the stream, I would love to point you to the obviously the Headphone Mixing Blueprint, but we've also got an exciting event coming up to support helping me get to some urgent brain care. We are trying to get north, back up to northern Idaho, and got a link in the description. It's going to point you to I'm doing a free course. we're going to vote on songs to mix live. Anyone who donates is going to get the entire process from start to finish, mixing the song that's chosen, voted on by the community. I'll have all that information down in the description. I'm leaving out details and fumbling on my words a bit, but we're just going to continue on. We got vocals to mix. Let me go ahead and hit live here on my computer, my laptop here, so we can see if anyone's joining us in the chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Yeah, it looks like I got some people watching. What's up, Corey? Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. And yeah, with that, we're going to go ahead and hit play. Now, I had the vocals muted. We have Claudia and Colton. Again, they are the Maze. Clean Hands, Pure Hearts. Let's take a listen maybe from where he starts to kind of pick up in here. And then we'll kind of engage some of the processing, and we're just going to mix this from scratch, I think. We just got the raw vocal here. Let's give it a go.
Who is this king, mighty in battle, strong tower, Jesus? Who is this man? I want to know who is
I love it.
Jesus, who is this king? He's mighty in battle, our strong tower. Jesus, who is this man? I want to know.
I heard that distorted bass there in the intimate section with his voice, and it wasn't feeling good. So we got that cleaned up. Let's take a listen in solo.
Who is this king? Mighty in battle, our strong tower. Jesus, who is this?
All right, so that's no pitch correction. That's my man Colton doing his thing. And actually, I was able to get this stream with our Starlink. The upload speed was pretty good for us, so it's going to Facebook. So if Colton joins us, you never know, we'll be able to talk to the artist a little bit here while we hang out. So this vocal, let's go. I like to start at the high point of the song. Let's go. We got all kinds of stuff happening out here.
Your heart, who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? Come on! Your heart, who shall ascend his holy place? Clean hands, your heart.
Okay, we're gonna back it up a little bit. We're gonna come to here, and just leaving my man Colton hung out to dry there. Nothing on him except X pitch on that go. And let's go ahead and what's up, Gabriel? Hanging out in the chat. Appreciate you, bro. Thanks for hanging out with me. let's give this a go and let's dial him in and get it sounding interesting. We're just going to kick it off with some compression and EQ. Let's go.
Who is this?
We'll have to...
Our strong tower, Jesus. Who is this man? I want to know him. Resurrected Jesus with weakness, pure heart.
I'll tell you what, we're gonna skip the de-essing for a minute.
Our strong tower, Jesus.
We're going to throw some parallel compression on him. And we got something happening with the S's. I don't know. It looks like we got some committed tracks from the board, from the live recording. I prefer to get them raw just because we can control that process and whatnot. But we may have to do some upward expansion on his vocal here.
Our strong town.
That right there.
Our strong town.
That a little lispy, and we don't have any de-essing happening right now. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we need some more top end. Let's get this compression dialed in. I like the stressor from Slate, works great for me.
Our strong tower, Jesus.
Let's hear that isolated. And I'm actually gonna send it pre-fader so I can mute the raw.
Our strong tower.
Let's get that up.
Our strong tower.
Cool. So that's a lot of S on that one. So we will de-ess before the compressor and maybe after on our crush here.
Our strong tower.
A little higher up.
Our strong tower.
Let's give him a lisp.
Our strong tower. Our strong tower. Our strong tower. Our strong tower. Our strong tower.
So I just want that S to barely come through, and then we'll see how that feels blended in. Compression-wise, we're just slamming that. But let's blend it now in the track. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want this compression to the parallel to overwhelm the original. I want to blend it. Otherwise, we can just slam one track with compression. So I want to take advantage of some of the dynamics. It's hit pretty good throughout. You can see it's pretty even. But let's see.
Our strong tower. Our strong tower. Our strong tower.
Uh-oh. Some phase issues happening with the de-esser before it.
Our strong tower.
That's really, I haven't heard that in a long time. Where is that phase coming from? Let's double check our delay compensation. It's on. Everything should be, yep. So let's come back here.
Our strong.
Let's turn off pre-fader and see if that helps.
Our strong.
No, that's.
Our strong.
Yeah, you can't use the Lindell in parallel apparently. That's not working for us. So we'll have to de-ess on the back end. So we'll move this down here. And interesting to find that out. Plugin Alliance Lindell 902 de-esser is causing phase issues when we put it on an aux in a parallel. So
Our strong tower.
okay.
Our strong tower.
Now let's balance it.
Our strong tower. Jesus. Who is this man? I want to know him. Resurrected Jesus with clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall ascend the hill of the Lord with clean hands, pure hearts?
Okay, I don't want him sitting like on top. It's not a pop record, but we definitely need a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and hit with some effects. pretty easy to just smash a vocal that's already been smashed and get it to sit. So let's see what happens with some effects.
Our strong tower, Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him, resurrected Jesus, with clean hands, pure hearts, who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? With clean hands, pure hearts, who shall stand in his holy? Come on! With clean hands, pure hearts, who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? Clean hands.
Yeah, we're getting there. So a little bit of effects is going to go a long way. And these are, I'm cheating a bit. This is my template. So we're just kind of slapping things that are already in here. But if you're hanging out with the chat, man, I would love. What do we got? We got my man Cleon said, let's see, you prefer the Plugin Alliance de-esser over the Slate version of the same hardware. I actually have used that 902 for a little while now. Good question on if I like it better than the Slate. I don't know. I do actually like the Slate Dimension D, Studio D course, they call it, SD course or whatever. I like this better than the UA version. I think my template still got the UA. Yeah, it's still got the UA in here, but I actually do like the Slate better. I'd have to give it a shot. The 902 from Plugin Alliance hasn't given me a reason to replace it. I actually replaced the Pro DS from FabFilter with the 902. And I like it better, but that was discouraging to see it. It didn't really work on the Parallel Force, did it?
Our strong tower, Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him, resurrected.
I think we're going to go for a room here. Let's go ahead and create a new one. We're going to go, we'll call it Val Room for Valhalla. We're going to go ahead and pull in. And this default room is really good, actually, but I'm going to set it down to maybe like a half second. Just try to give him a little bit of...
Our strong tower. Our strong...
Let's send that correctly to the All Effects bus.
Our strong tower, Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him, resurrected Jesus, with clean hands.
Okay, and then we're going to turn that way down.
Our strong tower, Jesus, who is this man?
Just a little bit. And then we're going to go to, let's do another one. Let's go, we're going to call it, you know, we probably don't need a new one for this. Let's go to our vocal plate. No, let's go to Sunset Chamber. Go Bercasti M7 Sunset Chamber.
Our strong tower, Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him. Our strong tower, Jesus, who is this?
And then I tell you what, I can't use that Lindell. Let's see how Xvox Pro's de-esser. Let's try this one. I would like to put de-essing on my reverbs, make sure we don't get anything too spitty happening.
Our strong tower, Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him, resurrected Jesus, with clean hands, pure hearts, who shall...
Okay, and then, you know, let's give the 902 a shot. Getting a little spitty up top. We're gonna go 7/8K-ish, I think is where I'm hearing it. And when I DS, I like to find a section where we've got multiple S's. That was too much. That was eating them up. Let's back that off a bit.
Our strong
Okay, so for me, we got to get this a lot brighter. And I think we can either boost top or I think we might even just cut.
Our strong tower, Jesus. I want to know Him resurrected. Jesus, with clean hands, pure hearts, who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? With clean hands, pure hearts, who shall stand in His holy? Come on, with clean hands.
I think we're going to need to go a little bit brighter. However, we're pretty early on in the process. I think the last stream we got basically the kick, the snare, Tom's bus. We didn't really even mess with much. And then the bass, I think we got in there. And so we messed with the guitars a bit, the keys. So we got some of that coming along. But I think we're going to need some ozone, some bus processing, a little more aggressive compression maybe. And so by doing that, it's going to, and we're going to hit the limiter harder, which is going to drive that top end as well. So I'm going to keep him about there. But let's talk about kind of what we did here, because I just kind of pulled in the template and started pushing things up. Let's look at this. So first off, we got pitch. Typically for a live vocal, live worship stuff, I'm going to run it through Waves Clarity VX Pro, and I'm going to give that anywhere from 20 to 30% on the broad 2 setting. But this one was already committed with that on it, I'm pretty sure, coming from. And so I didn't want to do more. You do too much of that, you get artifacts. But that's going to help separate the vocalist from the bleed. And then you can treat it a little more. You got to be careful because there's artifacts for sure. Let me show you that since we're hanging out. We're not in a rush with this one. We're going to get this on. I'm going to show you guys what happens if you use this. We're going to go to broad 2, and let's go grab us a section.
Who is this King? Mighty in battle, our strong tower.
That sounds really good, but it's a light section. There's no drums or anything. Let's come out here and highlight a little bit where there's some more activity on the stage. Bypass it. Okay, and so when he's not singing,
who shall stand in this holy place?
okay, so you could automate it. You could go through word by word, but I feel like just kind of living in that 20 to 30 hertz range, not hertz, percentage range, it really works well. Cleans it up enough to where then you could use your Dynassist if you rocking that with Pro Tools. You could do your automation and stuff. It's going to be much cleaner with the clarity on there first.
Who shall stand in this holy place? Who is this King? Mighty in battle, our strong tower.
So that sounds really good, actually. There, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to commit it. And then next up, I've been using Dynassist, the Pro Tools ARA deal here, getting familiar with that. I really like it. But you got to make sure you go through and like clip gain stuff up and make sure everything's kind of in the ballpark of phrase to phrase where you want it to be. Otherwise, it's going to also drop words, phrases, syllables. It cuts it off. So you got to obviously learn how to use it. But I don't know that I'm going to use it here because it's already pretty, it's hit pretty hard from the board. So what were we doing? We had clarity. We showed that off. Let's talk about this. So X-Pitch, Neuro Audio, my buddy Dean over there, man, is killing it. And he had a call with him, sent me over his tools, and started using them. I'm really digging them. I really like this quantum key. If you're in a pinch and you got a singer that's kind of in between and so, you just go over here, hit quantum, hit play, let it run out for a little bit. And maybe if you're not music theory, a pro with music theory, or you're not with keys, maybe you're not an instrumentalist, you don't play anything, you don't know. I used to keep a guitar just right here, and I always just kind of, what key is it in, what notes are you playing, tuning with Melodyne, just kind of pluck along. You don't even need that anymore. So X-Pitch, rocking that. Moving on, very common for me is a high pass filter just to make sure, and then we've got the low mids that we're compressing against with a dynamic EQ here. And that kind of keeps the pop filter. There's no pop filter as a live vocal, but it gives it the effect of having a pop filter. It's going to control the plosives and things whenever he gets a little meaty. It's going to push him down there in that lower frequency range. Then we're hitting it with some compression. And here, fast attack, fast release, very fast release, faster attack. 1176 is a fast compressor. Even the slowest is already going to be a pretty fast attack. But aggressive with it, knocking down the transients, keeping it even more locked in. And then you saw me pull this up. The Kush Clariphonic is one of my favorite top-end boosts. Years and years and years ago, I used the Moog Airband, and then Kush came out with a plug-in version of the Clariphonic Mark 1, and I just have used it ever since. This is Mark 2. It's been out for years, but this is Shimmer and Silk are the two bands that I like to pull up. And something I just showed this off in a critique, something that happens with the Kush, if you pull in the plug-in Doctor, not only are you going to get the boost up here, I think it was a bell, then there was like a cut, and then something happened in here, but you also get this shelf where it's pulling it up. So as you boost, things are happening behind the scenes that sure you could recreate with the Pro Cube, but it's nice to be able to not have to like draw in 3 or 4 bands. The Kush Clariphonic does a great job, man, of adding that top end that you need for a vocal. Love it. One of my favorite plugins. But that's kind of what it's doing multiple things behind the scenes there. Parallel EQ going on. And what else? So then we go from the Kush, the 2 there. One more time, look at that. The Shimmer is a lower upper frequency range. I forget which is probably, what would you say? Let's do this. Let's solo and find out where it is, because I just have instinct. Just grab it, slam it up, see where I like it, and move on. Where is Shimmer on the frequency spectrum here?
Oh, him resurrected. Only Jesus.
Yeah, so it's up there. It's around 7K or so, 8K. But then, and that was too much, obviously. I was just trying to find it, but we'll put that away. Let's look and see where Silk is. That's going to be like your airband. So that's going to be certainly above 10K.
Oh, him resurrected. Oh, him resurrected.
I'll tell you what, I'm not mad at a whole lot of that. Let's back it up.
It's a man, I want to know him resurrected. Only Jesus. Only Jesus.
So we'll play it, let you hear that. I'll have it in, and I'll take both of those Clariphonics out.
It's a man, I want to know him resurrected. Only Jesus. Only Jesus. Only Jesus.
So, and we're going to melodyne him. Don't worry. We'll do some melodyne. I don't know if we'll get to it tonight, but let's check in with the chat for a minute. We've got, you prefer the plugin? We talked about that. So Jackie B, what's up? What's up? We got, how do you hear and fix phasing issues? So Jackie, clarify to me, are you talking about phase issues with the lead vocal like we showed with the Lindell de-esser not working on the aux track in Pro Tools, or do you mean like drums and phase? Clarify that for me and I'll come back and we'll answer that in depth for you. Cleon said, I typically use UAD reverbs or Slate Verb Suite, but I'm loving the Valhalla. Yeah, all those are great, man. We're so spoiled with tools. I love the Valhalla stuff. It just works. I've never had Pro Tools tell me that it crashed because Valhalla was an instance on a certain track. I have had that happen with Verb Suite. Oh, he said sirens in your area. Yeah, we're out in Colorado Springs right now. We've been out in the mountains, but my wife's sister traveled in, and so we a little closer to the spring. So yeah, there's going to be some sirens. And Starlink goes out that window right behind the camera, and so it's cracked a little bit from having to leak that out here at the Airbnb. Let's see here. RG said, where is the vocal tuning in the chain, before or after processing? Vocal tuning always first. And then I'm pretty sure good ones will have filters. So even if you don't put a high pass filter before, I'm pretty sure that gets filtered before the tuning. And then with Pro Tools, I use Melodyne, and I started using the ARA version of Melodyne. Used to always just put it as the first instance, tune it. But yeah, ARA, they worked out some of the kinks. It's been working really well. Steven, my man, dude, I appreciate you so much. Dude, I haven't seen anything come through for you for I'm calling it the Streamathon. Man, if you got some multi-tracks you would like to throw in the ring, man, I would absolutely love to mix something by you. My man Steven Mixon hanging out with us. So Jackie's asking, I guess both vocal and drums. Okay, so phase will have a little rabbit trail here. When you have any, and Jackie, you may know this, but I'm just going to kind of, for anyone watching, when you have any instruments, multi-mic instruments, so let's say you put 2 mics on an acoustic guitar, you've got a 3-to-1 principle where for every inch, foot, whatever distance that you've got your first mic away from the guitar, you want to make sure your next one is 3 times that distance away to make sure you have coherent phase relationship between them. This is going to be a janky description, but bear with me. So anytime you have multi-mics, you want to make sure that you take into account the phase relationship. And so a lot of guys that come in and they'll just start inverting the polarity. You may have heard that term, or flip the phase. So if we come up here in the Pro Q, we click over here, you can see this little circle with the line going through it. That's a universal symbol for phase. And so you can, or polarity, you can invert the polarity. And that's one way that you can deal with it. So on a drum kit, you could go through and just kind of invert the polarity, kind of click throughout and see which one gives you the most low end. A good example of this would be like a snare top and a bottom mic. If you have your snare mic from the top and the snare mic from the bottom, good recording engineers are going to know you put that at the right angle, you get it right from the source, you don't have to flip anything, or you can perfectly flip it, invert it, and they'll be really well in balance phase-wise. But what do you do when it's the whole drum kit? Yeah, 16 mics on the drums, or you have a lead vocal with crowd mics and drums, and they're all interacting, right? And so these mics are all, well, my solution for it is Auto Align 2 from Sound Radix. And so what we do is I pull all the drums in, and we'll put it here, Auto Align 2 on all the drums. They'll all list out in here. You find a section where they're all playing for a good 30 seconds to a minute. You hit play, and Sound Radix will automatically align the phase for you. Now, with drums, what I do is I go in and I'll right-click on the snare top, and I'll set that as the performance time, and then it'll adjust everything to the snare top. And that just gives me the nice solid thump low-end relationship from the snare. It tends to center the snare on overheads where they've been, it's kind of leaning. It's kind of got that lean to one way or the other. It can help with that. And that's my process for getting drums. With live worship, you can throw in the crowd mics. You need to throw in the crowd mics to your drum phase relationship with Auto Align. And then it can be beneficial. I don't do it, but it can be beneficial to use. In fact, let me stop that. Sound Radix says for Auto Align 2, just put it on all the tracks in the session. I don't know about that one. I'm a little bit nervous to do that. I'm kind of just a drums, crowd mic, Auto Align fan. But to be fair, I did it once or twice, and I was just kind of like, oh, it just didn't feel right letting it handle the phase for the whole session. You know, sometimes we get 200 tracks for these productions. Thankfully, Colton and Claudia, they did not have that for this song. If anything, we're a little under-supported for them in this. We just have the live elements. You got the drums, the bass, acoustic guitar, 2 electrics, and a piano and a pad. So I like that for making it sound big. It's easy to do that, but as far as like modern, we're missing the bells and the whistles and some of the ear candy and whatnot. But anyway, so that's kind of a crash course of how I'm addressing phase in the mix from the beginning. And we could probably talk about phase for a couple of hours, but drums, getting those in the best phase. Now, here's why. Just show you, what I'm doing. Let me tell you why. So before you go to reach for an EQ on your snare drum, your kick, whatever, you want to make sure that you have the best sound possible from getting the best phase relationship possible. And so what'll happen is, I don't know if you're familiar, Jackie, with the snare drum, but if you have a snare top mic and a snare bottom mic and you pull them up, I'll show you right here. we'll just have to talk about it. We can actually pull it up. Here's our live snare top. Here's our live snare bottom. We'll turn off all the processing on all of them. And let's zip over to where we have some hitting. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll boost the snare bottom so we get an equal amount of both. And then we can come over in any tool to invert the polarity. For this, we'll just use the default stock Pro Tools trim tool here. We'll hit play, and then I'm going to invert the polarity, or a lot of people say flip the phase. My man Bill Kamek, rest his soul. Rest in peace, man. He early days of the Pensado Place show and the Pensado Students Facebook group, I think it was Bill that called people out for saying flip the phase, and the technical term was invert the polarity. So I've always remembered that and make sure to say that correctly, right? But you know what I mean if I say flip the phase. And so let's see what happens. I also turn the volume up really loud to make sure like I can hear what's happening. So that to me is out of phase. So I would actually invert this. Now, did I do that? I did that here. Okay, well, look, proof to I'm not a madman here. I'm practicing what I'm preaching here. So inverting the polarity certainly made that more full. That's a big difference. If you go a whole session, your drums are out of phase like this, you can EQ all day long, but you're not going to get the full sound. And then you're replacing, but then the samples that you've replaced with are following, if it's a good plugin like Steven Slate's Trigger 2, it's following the phase relationship of the original as accurately as possible for, I mean, it's doing a lot, but for what it's doing. And so you want to give it the best phase relationship no matter if you're replacing the drums or not. And so you can see there, inverting that, flipping the phase, certainly improved it, which is what we did here. That's out of phase. Here's in phase. Can you hear how there's a little more thud, a little more thump? And they're not canceling each other out, which you probably get a way better example searching YouTube. But just off the cuff here, I don't know, how did I do hanging out with me in the chat? What do we got? How to properly mix bass for 4 strings. We could talk about bass a little bit. And then we got random question, would you ever do a community mixing contest? I'm actually doing a community mixing contest right now, and the link is in the description. I've been dealing with some, I mentioned it at the beginning, I won't bore you guys with more of it, but I've been dealing with stroke symptoms the last handful of years, had some pretty serious encounters, and we're trying to get back to some treatment because it's not been good. I'm healthiest shape of my life, down to like, you can see my abs again. I was 240 at one point. I'm 6'2", was about 240, unhealthy years ago. Worked through all of that. Now my wife, who's a naturopath and IHP and all that, she's got me no sugar, no artificials, no dyes, and I'm still having trouble. I think it's stress, but and now dairy. We cut dairy out. But yeah, hey man, I really appreciate the prayers for sure. But you asked about Sebastian. You asked about a mix contest. You donate to the Streamathon. Link in the description will give you all the details. Won't bore you with it all here, but $5, $10, $500, whatever you donate is going to give you access to the Mix Academy Mix Vault. It's going to be multi-tracks that you can download right now and use on your resume. We're going to be doing a mix contest. We're doing a poll, actually. Everyone is submitting. I got a ton of submissions. Really excited about it. Sunday night coming up, I'm going to be closing it, and we're going to vote on what song for us to mix during the Streamathon. And you guys got to tell me in the chat, is it super cheesy to call it the Streamathon? You got to let me know. But that's what I've called it for now. And so that is going to give you the multi-tracks. You're going to see my video, all of that, and we're doing a mix contest. And then we're giving away prizes. We've got Slate's VSX. Shout out to Steven Slate for contributing. I hit him on Facebook. He hit me right back, man. Such a good dude. Yeah, so lots of good stuff coming, but definitely check that out. Link in the description. And again, we'll be doing a mix contest. It won't be this song. This song will be added to Mixing Modern Worship, but which is a course that I sell. But you guys get to see it here for free while we're hanging out, and I'll leave the videos up probably the next week or so, and you'll be able to watch those for free. But cool. So you guys rock. Thanks again, Steven, man. I really appreciate that. Jackie, absolutely. If you have any more questions about phase, I'll give it another go if anything was confusing about that. But hopefully this example was showing how just inverting the polarity, it's a massive difference. Do that before you reach for, replacement and plugins and just start tweaking and everything. So we'll figure out maybe we could do a better phase video in the future. But for now, let's get back to this vocal, the lead vocal. Okay, so it sounds pretty good, but it's a little bit hung out to dry. That chamber's good, but it's not exactly what I want. I'm gonna send this to a delay. I really prefer to use delay over reverb. That's not true. They go hand in hand. Sometimes I'll put delay. Yeah, look at my delay in my template here has got the ice house. That's a reverb. So I'm sending into a delay and then sending delay to a reverb. Get a nice ambient soaked delay kind of sound from that. Let's hear him in solo for education's sake.
Directed Jesus with clean hands, pure hearts, who shall ascend up the hill of the Lord with clean hands, pure hearts, who shall stand in this holy, come on, with clean hands, pure hearts, who shall ascend the hill of the Lord, clean hands, who shall stand in this holy place? Who is this King, mighty in battle, our strong tower? Oh, who is this man? I want to know him, resurrected. Only Jesus, only Jesus.
Yeah, that sounded pretty good, and that is going to the verb.
Oh, who is
Yeah, so maybe a little bit long in the decay. I don't really ever mess with this. If I don't like what I'm hearing from it, I just switch to something else. But we'll just pull back the feedback. And that sounded pretty good.
Oh, who is this man? I want to know.
So right there, I'm reaching for my headphone volume, and I'm pulling that back way down. I like to mix loud, but there's certain things you really got to pull it back and just see how's it feeling with a lower volume.
Oh, who is this man? I want to know him, resurrected. Only Jesus, only Jesus, only Jesus, only Jesus, only Jesus.
Yeah, and then we certainly will hit this stuff with like delay throws here. We'll just go ahead and give an example. I typically save that towards the end once I get the vocal feeling really good. But you guys are hanging out with me. I want to make sure we don't bore you to death. Let's give you something fun to see here.
Only Jesus, only Jesus.
Yeah, so a little bit there. Stuff like that. Long held out notes is a gimme for delay throws and reverb throws. Let's back it up, see how our compression's handling the softer section.
Living sacrifice, put me on the altar.
So he's singing harmony there. Cool, and then he takes over here.
Who is this King, mighty in battle, our strong tower? Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him, resurrected. Jesus, who is this King? He's mighty in battle, our power. To know him, resurrected.
That Jesus I'm going to pull back the delay for this whole section here. Solid 7 or 8 dB.
Who is this king, mighty in battle, our strong tower? Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him resurrected. Jesus, who is this king? He's mighty in battle, our strong tower. This man, I want to know him.
Yeah, that sounded pretty good. I'm digging that. Cleon said the effects cut through the other instruments so easily. My man, that is because I've got it in the template and I have EQ'd that before. And so, yeah, actually, I switched to this because it filters everything. And so it's really just cutting through. And I try to reserve upper mid-range for, I don't know, I can't even really say that. It's kind of a taste thing. It just depends on the song, depends how open, what's going on, what the energy is giving us here. But you can see here, I'm taming upper mid-range top end on those delays, and they're still coming through. So definitely feeling that. That's doing nice. We've got RG said, are you using any crossfeed EQ correction or room sims for your headphones? That's a great question. And you can learn all about my exact setup, the gear, my system, everything in the Headphone Mixing Blueprint. You gave me room for a plug there, man. Come on. I got to take that spot there. Headphone Mixing Blueprint. Link in the description. I'm going to tell you for free what headphones, what EQ, what calibration, how I'm using them, my frequency focus referencing technique, the best technique you can possibly do as a mixing engineer. If you're producing, you're a musician, you want to get better mixes, go check out the guide. Download it, use that technique, and actually when you download the guide, I send you a second email and I point you to a video. It shows all how to do it, how to get your loudness matched for an industry reference, how to volume match, all of that stuff. But then I'm going to show you how to shine that magnifying glass on your mix and really make it pop. So that being said, you're here hanging out with me. I'm going to tell you right now, I use Oratory 1990 from Reddit, his free headphone calibration profile. And I use the Sennheiser HD 650s. They're the older version. I've had these for, holy cow, a really long time. Probably like 15 years I've been mixing on these. I have replaced the cushions once. That's it. Which I love doing. So I'll probably do that every year. But this thing right here, this guy, it's anonymous, but he is an industry professional in the headphone industry. He... I'm sure has an NDA or something, can't reveal like his identity, but he has done similar to what SonarWorks does. He does headphone calibration profiles. I believe he uses the Harman target as a kind of like a baseline, if that makes any sense to you. If not, you can research that. But essentially, it's a SonarWorks profile. I like this better. I dig SonarWorks. I used it for years. I still will check from time to time, but this is my go-to. I don't even think about it. And then in addition to that, a couple of presets I like to use are the Aventone EQ emulation. And then shout out to my man, Doug Weir. Used to be a student of mine, man. Now he's a multi-platinum mixer himself. Doug is, he gave me the NS10 emulation that he uses. And I started using that, and it makes a big difference. Because I mix with a sub pack as well. SUB-PAC sub pack. I have an M2X. It's one of their second gen models, I think. But a lot of times I'm mixing for things to sound just massive on these big systems and subs and all that. And I forget, man, to just really get in on the mid-range. And so this has been huge for me these last few months. Mixing with this on, it takes the low end out of it, the ultra top end out of it. You obviously gotta check those things, and those matter. But you know, what percentage of audio devices are giving you super low end and super top end? Not all of them, right? So we got to make sure that we check that. And so focusing on the mid-range with something like an NS10 profile, and I believe I give links to both of those in the Headphone Mixing Blueprint. So there you go, another plug. I'm full of that one today. But yeah, those are huge. Definitely check that out. And then the referencing guide, I'm going to teach you how to come in here and just isolate the low end, reference yours back and forth after you've done your loudness processing, after you've compared. You chose good references. You got to choose good references. If you have a male lead vocalist, probably should have a male lead vocalist in your reference. I'll even show you. I know the question is going to come, what are some good references? Here are some of mine. I pulled this in recently, Elevation, I Know a Name. We've got Starlight, one of my favorites. Chris Greeley, I believe, mixed that one for Bethel a long time ago. Sam Gibson mixed Be Glad for Cody Carnes. This has got that kind of sub-synth program, synth bass, just perfect sine wave thing happening. So it's a good reference for when you're given that. This is not often, but I really like that. A little bright and a little bit scooped for my liking, but he's one of the best. He's kind of the CLA of worship mixing. So we'll point you to that one. That's a great one. What do I got in here? Let's maybe click through. I tell you what, here's a moment where I'm going to hit play. This is going to completely demonetize the video. So if you haven't already, go ahead and hit like, subscribe if you're new. Would love to have you on for future videos. We got all kinds of worship, gospel. I mix a ton of black gospel, worship. What is that even? Like subgenres. I mix rock, pop, you name it. Some of my biggest hits are in Latin, pop, and gospel. But give a shout out to these guys. Let's go ahead and hit play. This is going to demonetize it, so hook me up with a like. But here we'll hit play with some of these.
Jesus, I call you healer, risen and reigning.
Here's that Cody Carnes. Watch this one come in. Where's it at? There it is. Yeah, so you can hear that bass is just nasty. And actually in Mixing Modern Worship, my course, I have a whole module where I show you how to take the live bass. I do it in Pro Tools, but you can do it in any DAW. If you can do it in Pro Tools, you can do it in most DAWs. And we're gonna drag that live bass down to a MIDI track. We're gonna I'll show you how to create the sub-synth and create the exact sound vibe of this song using the live bass, and then touch up the programming, and you've got yourself a pretty gnarly low end. You could also high cut that, take out the top end above 100, 150 hertz, and then use the live bass for your mid-range, maybe give it an amp tone or some distortion, and now you kind of got best of the both worlds. So show you that in the full course, Mixing Modern Worship. Again, links in the description, but love that one. I don't even know what some of these are. Let's click through some of them. Holy crap. I am so sorry to everyone who send me the bill. I just blew someone's speakers. Let's turn this off. I don't know how that got boosted. 10 dB. An industry track. Let's see. So Starlight.
Remember who you're singing to. He's still the Lord Almighty. He's still the King of Kings. Holy, you are lifted high. To the name of the Son of God, we bow down to lift up the name of the Lord.
I'm going to go on a limb. I think that was a Sean Moffat mix. But I'm really digging this Chris Greeley. It's a little older, but man, I dig it. The Starlight mix. I like the kick, the low end from it. Yeah, lots of good things happen. Let's listen. This is more of a modern. The mid-range and I Know a Name, the upper mid-range is a little more prominent in the crowd mics, which gives it a vibe. But we don't really have great crowd mics for this record, so we can't really go there. But let's listen to some of this, and then we'll click over to ours and see how we're doing so far.
Something comes out of the grave. Every time I call you Jesus, resurrected Jesus, with clean hands, pure hearts, who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? With clean hands, pure hearts, break every time I call your name. The
obviously have work to do, but we're in the ballpark. We're getting there. I promise you we will get there, and we'll stream it. So if you guys are digging it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's check in with the chat. You guys are hanging out with me. We'll make sure we answer. Romo, what's up, bro? He said, not really related, but have you ever mixed the Southern gospel genre similar to the Gaithers? Absolutely, I have. I'm mixing a project, he said, right now, and I'm having trouble mixing the bass vocals and making them stick out. It would be hard for me to give any advice without hearing it, but it just depends on the vibe you're going for. Sometimes they're going to be a little more traditional. They want that to be a little more open, and so you're going to be doing more clip gaining of the bass to get that to sit evenly instead of squashing it or compressing it real hard like I am. I don't know, am I hitting it hard here? Oh, not too bad. So I scooped kind of the mid-range on that. Got a little bit of the string action, but then the bass amp. Certainly not going to use that with a Gaithers style production, but you may still want to use some. So maybe instead of this kind of ultra thing, you would do this, something like, yeah. I would probably even do a little bit more than that. And so here, let's do like a decapitator, but for a Gaithers style Southern gospel track. I might do something. Let's isolate it first. So yeah, that distortion, creating those upper harmonics is going to allow it to cut through the track a little bit more. And so blend something like that in. But you're probably going to be, instead of, this is what I'm going to show you, instead of smashing it with compression, or in our case, we use Saturn to use the dynamics knob here. What you might find that you like the sound of better for those genres is to actually solo the drums or the kick in the bass and go through and use clip gain. And so if you have like a section, let's see if we can give a good example, and we'll turn off the amp for now. Now let's turn off our Saturn and our compression. So like right here, we lost it. That would be a clip gain ride. So we would come in here, select it, something like that, pull it up. You might even kill the transient a bit, just draw it in, see what sounds good. And it was a nice continuation, right? Whereas here, it dips. And so with my processing, keeps it on top. But if you're going for a more natural sound, you may end up writing those manually like you would the vocal. Now, if you're in Pro Tools, definitely check out Dynasys. Give a shout out to them. And they teased me. They said they've got something coming super awesome that, am I allowed to say? They said it's even better. We'll give a little tease on the stream. The stream's coming down. We'll tease it. Dynasys said they have something coming even better. And what they have already is really good, but let me show. You could use it on bass. Check it. Go to Pro Tools' YouTube channel, Avid's their YouTube channel, and they've got Dynasys videos, and also Noiseworks, I think, is a company. And so Noiseworks Dynasys could be a great way for you to get a non-over-compressed sound, but having, yeah. Oh, he said bass vocal. Oh, whoever was interested in learning about bass, there you go. You got some. A bass vocalist. So that would be, yeah, in context is going to matter. But for the vocalist, for that style, you're probably going to use something like Dynasys for vocal rides rather than a ton of compression. And then EQ-wise, it depends on what the bass vocalist is competing against. Are there cello, strings, other singers? that kind of thing. Depends on how much low end you're going to give them, how much compression you're going to hit it with. Dude, I would be interested to see what kind of track. Go ahead and if you haven't already, if you have permission to share it, would love to do something with you on that one, man. Maybe submit it and we can see if it gets voted on to include it, and we can do a mix of it. But Bill said, love his decapitator. What's up? What's up? Rico, my brother. Dude, thank you again so much, Rico, for your patience. You guys have been waiting a minute. I've got so many emails about mixing Rico's daughter's project on the stream again. Michaela, man, what an incredible voice. Love the work that we've done on that. If you're here watching live, I would love to invite you to go check that out. My man Rico in the chat hanging out with us. I know it was late on your East Coast, right? Getting up there for you. Alan's laughing at us. Not guitar, yeah. So my bad, Romo. I totally messed that one up. Gave a whole spiel there with that's awesome. So okay, cool. So back to Colton's voice. We're gonna spend a minute on that. I just want to see how it's balanced, and then forgive me, my head's hurting pretty bad. I'm gonna go try and take something for that, but let's see where we're at with this vocal, and then maybe we get her in the mix before we call it a night.
Resurrected Jesus, who is this King, mighty and bad? I want to know him. Resurrected Jesus.
It sounded pretty good there. Where's our snare? We got that snare bottom hot now. Let's pull that back. We don't need all that.
Resurrected Jesus. Oh, who is this King? Mighty in battle, strong tower. Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him. Resurrected with clean hands, pure heart. Who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? With pure heart. Who shall stand in this holy place? Clean hands, pure hearts. Yes, with clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall stand in this holy place?
I'll tell you what, that just makes it sound finished. Gives it a nice sheen to it. Shout out to my man Joey Fernandez, Grammy-winning mastering engineer, one of my best friends, man. He recently mastered a song that I mixed. I think it was Drew and Skylar. It was a rock song, "Died in Your Arms" cover, an old 80s song, and we mixed that here on the channel. I think that's still on the stream. But yeah, he did something, and I swear I heard mid-side compression, and I was like, he did something to the sides. They came alive, and then the center was more controlled, and I really loved it. And so I just kind of reverse engineered, and I straight up found it, man. I compared my mix with the Pro MB mid-side compared to what he did, and it was feeling right in the realm of what he did with his very expensive analog compressor. And so that made it into the template, and you can see why. That was, you go from the kind of like open and disconnected sound to very much like, okay, this feels like a record now. Tell me if you guys agree in the chat. I'm going to have it on, and then I'm going to turn it off.
Resurrected Jesus.
Let's back up where we have more action.
Pure hearts. Who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? With clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall stand in his holy? Come on, with clean hands.
The only thing I'm not digging so far, hearing that, is there's something weird happening with the sides with the snare. And so I may replace the sample that I'm using and just build it up from the ground up, because I do have some stuff committed into my samples here. And so those samples, let me see if it is this one. Ah, it's the toms. Those toms that I'm loving the bleed from, the cymbal bleed. I'm really digging the way that the cymbals sound when they're in. The snare's coming through too much. Okay, we got this. Let's do a little trickery here. I'm gonna show you guys a little something. Let's see if it works. We're gonna throw the Pro MB on, and we're just gonna go ahead and I think, we probably don't need to mess with the tom fundamental. The snare's pretty deep though, so somewhere in there probably. Well, we'll just leave it open for now. All right, we're gonna come in here, snare SC. Do we have it in? Yep, good to go. Let's come up here to our, we'll go external sidechain, hard knee, and we're gonna go grab the snare. It is going to the snare SC. Yep, we got that signal. Let's test it. Okay. I'm gonna send more signal, pull more out, and I just wanna make this so obvious that we're just ducking the toms when the snare hits. We're gonna solo the snare and the toms together. Okay. And then I think I wanna make this only happen on the sides. So I need to, let's do right here, mix, no, leave that alone. What am I doing? We're gonna go output, mid, sides down. We don't wanna do that. Let's see, I've done this before. Act like you know what you're doing here. What do we, mid, is that it? Stereo, no, that's our link. I mean, let's. Ah, there it is. Cool. I found it. We got to take that stereo link all the way up. So a little slow. It's not something I use often, but we're going to throw this sides only. Exactly. There we go. Oh, but the snare's down. No, that's not right. I don't know. Well, I was gonna gate it, but I don't know that we're just gonna clean up the toms. I'll have to figure that out. Maybe ChatGPT can help me with those settings here in a little bit. For some reason, I'm having a brand. My head's hurting, guys. I'm so sorry. Listening to this loud music is, I think, giving me. What do we got? Rico said we're almost done with Michaela's other song too. Dude, that's awesome. That's very exciting. Where can I send a song to mix on the stream? My man, Milk Boom. You can, if you've already donated, then you should have got an email. If not, email me to david@themixacademy.com and just send me an MP3, wave if you want to. And we're going to include that Sunday night. I'm going to shut it down, submissions. And we're going to, Monday morning, I'm going to put them all up in a poll. People will be able to click, listen to the song, and then vote on it. And they're going to vote, pick their favorite. And then what I'm going to do is probably, I've said this a few times, I'm kind of a sucker like this. I'll probably end up mixing a couple of songs on stream. And we'll just, we'll make this streamathon thing. Again, just trying to raise money to get north, give me some help from my brain. And with that, yeah, all those links will be in the description. But yeah, once you... David@themixacademy.com. Go ahead and submit your song, and we'll include it in the poll. So appreciate you guys hanging out. Let me that snare is bothering me, but let's make sure that it's the toms. I'm gonna highlight that. Come down, And we're going to pull this up. Listen to this.
Who is this? Who is this king? Mighty, our strong tower, Jesus. Who is this man? I want to know him. Resurrected Jesus with clean hands, pure hearts.
Okay, so it is the toms, and we're not going to be able to rely on the toms for our cymbals because there's so much snare in them, understandably so. We're just going to have to clean those toms up, and we're going to have to work these in. So why don't we, told you it was mixing vocals. Mixing is not just like, hey, it's time to mix a vocal, right? Let's just do nothing but mix vocals. Leave everything else alone. It doesn't work that way. We got to, things interact, and it doesn't help that my brain, ADHD, all the things, right? I'm all over the place. But these need to come up, and they need to sound more like the cymbals in the tom mic. So let's check. I'm not a fan at all of making cymbals brighter, but those cymbals in the tom sound pretty good. Something like that. Now, I can do the same thing that I was trying to do, but we're going to, for the toms, but we're going to do it on the overheads. And, yeah, we use the MB. And we're going to push the snare down. Got to do it. Snare, SC. And we're going to go expert, external, hard's fine. And now let's hear drums together. Let's snare one at a time here. And then we've got the toms. Nope, overheads. Working on the overheads. And then let's see what we get. Yeah, a little bit there helps. See, the toms were in again. So now let's check it with the overheads. Not a fan. We got to make these sound a lot better.
Come on! With clean hands, pure hearts, who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? Clean hands.
Yeah, so it's pretty clear I'm not going to be able to have my tom cymbal bleed work because it created this weird stereo thing with the snare. But it's a trade-off. We win some, we lose some. We lost that battle, but I'm still not convinced that the overhead is going to carry. Yeah, it's not terrible. We can live with that. We'll keep the toms off. We'll either replace the toms, or I hate replacing toms. We'll probably just isolate and do the tom trick, which we showed off in the last stream. So if you haven't seen that, that's a lot of fun. The tom trick. I think I have a video showing that, isolating just the tom trick on the channel as well. Okay, cool. Well, I told my wife I would be done, and I am not. So, hey, yeah, what's up, Milk? Yeah, so if you already donated, you should have got an email. Forgive me if you didn't, but david@themixacademy.com. Submit that song, and I'll make sure it gets included in the poll. And yeah, man, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. If you guys ain't got any questions, I'll hang out for another couple of minutes. Keep an eye out for questions. Other than that, I'm going to hit play from the top and just kind of listen to what we got and take some notes so that when I come back to this, I know where I'm at. Let's go look. Those toms are important to the song. Let's...
In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name,
Yeah, we'll pull it in a little bit. No, we didn't get Claudia. Let's at least put her in the mix.
living sacrifice. Put me on the altar, all that I can offer. Living sacrifice. Your bloody hands will clean me. This will be my offering. Living sacrifice. Oh, put me on the altar. It's all that I can offer.
You know what? We're going right in the same kind of vein processing. Let's just go ahead and do it. And then Pro Q4, I'm going to copy what I did for him, and we'll just tweak from there. I like the 1176 over RVox. That was sounding good.
Living sacrifice.
We're in the ballpark already, man. This is going to sound great. So excited for these guys. Let's go up here.
Living sacrifice. Put me on the altar. It's all that I can offer. Living sacrifice. Your bloody hands have cleaned me. This will be my offering. A living sacrifice. Oh, put me on the altar. It's all that I can offer. Living sacrifice. Your bloody hands have cleaned me. This will be my offering. Give us clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall ascend up the hill of the Lord? With clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall stand in this holy place? With clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall ascend up the hill of the
I'm going to get some de-essing for her right there. Yep.
living sacrifice? Put me on the altar. It's all that I can offer. Living sacrifice. Your bloody hands have cleaned me. This will be my offering. A living sacrifice. Oh, put me on the altar. It's all that I can offer. Living sacrifice.
give that a little love there. Just thinking about it. It'd be fun to put a little throw on the end of that for each of them. And then the delay needs more verb and less top end. Usually I do a delay throw track, and I don't just use the main delay, but we're just hanging out, having fun. We'll see what happens. So that was too much, just feeling it out. Not a huge fan of this stuff. Probably all of this. It just needs to come down in volume, but let's we're gonna take some of that out too, and then I tell you what, we're gonna build kind of like a offsetting filter sound into this a little bit. See if we can get something weird. Telefy. I dig that. A little less top end, maybe none. We're gonna bypass it, automate it, and we're gonna go highlight that section. Yeah, it's too bright. We need a de-esser too. So this delay right there, whoop, Command Option Z. We're gonna restore our selection. More. Those with clean hands, those with pure heart. Yeah, so cool. Tell you what, let's hear her from the beginning.
A living sacrifice. Put me on the altar. It's all that I can offer. Living sacrifice. Your bloody hands have cleaned me. This will be my offering. Living sacrifice. Put me on the altar.
Oh, that's new. I haven't heard. We're just gonna replace that. We'll figure out another sound for that. Let's hear her. Try not to get distracted.
A living sacrifice. Put me on the altar. It's all that I can offer. Living sacrifice. Your bloody hands have cleaned me. This will be my offering. Living sacrifice. Oh, put me on the altar. All that I can offer. Living sacrifice. Your bloody hands have cleaned me. This will be my offering. Give us clean hands, pure hearts for you.
So we got some.
Give us clean. Give us clean hands, pure hearts for you.
What did she sing there for real?
For you. For you. For you.
Yeah, so obviously we gotta tighten up some of the pitch a little bit.
A living sacrifice. Put me on the altar. It's all that I can offer. Living sacrifice. the altar. It's all that I can offer. Living sacrifice. Your bloody hands and clean me. This will be my offering. Give us clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall ascend up the hill of the Lord? With clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall stand in this holy place? With clean hands,
I like that better, but obviously we gotta check it in context. We're getting some phase cancellation. Did I unmute the tom? I did.
put me on the altar. It's all that I can offer. Living sacrifice. Your bloody hands have cleaned me. This will be my offering. A living sacrifice. Oh, put me on the altar. It's all that I can offer. Living sacrifice. Your bloody hands have cleaned me. This will be my offering. Give us clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall ascend up the hill of the Lord? With clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall stand in this holy place? With clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall ascend up the hill of the Lord? With clean hands, pure hearts. Who shall stand in this holy place? Those with clean hands, those with pure hearts.
Yeah, man. I'm just enjoying the worship.
Who is this king, mighty in battle, our strong tower? Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him resurrected. Jesus, who is this king? He's mighty in battle, our strong tower. Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him.
We'll get his timing worked out.
resurrected. Jesus, who is this king? Mighty in battle, our strong tower. Jesus, who is this man? I want to know him resurrected. Jesus, who is this? Who is this king? Mighty in battle, our strong tower.
man, I know I'm quiet for a minute. I'm just worshiping, trying to take it all in. If you dig those drum samples, I include them in Mixing Modern Worship. I got tons of custom samples, and you don't have to do the super deep thing like I've done. I've got mid-tune, high-tune, and then the kick. I've got that. Let me show that off for you. That's plug and play. I've taken it from my favorite mixes that I've done over the years, custom samples that I've recorded. I do have to give a shout out to my man, Jared Henderson. We did a drum tuning masterclass together. Hindi goes by Hindi. We rented out an Airbnb, did a whole thing. There were some of those things that I need to get in touch with him because we got some pretty awesome stuff that I need to. We recorded some samples, man, but I don't think I used any of the kicks. Those were mine from the kicks. You got the kick subs here. You basically choose your kick sub. You route it to your mix bus. You don't want to affect the. You don't want your bus processing to affect these. These are mix ready. You can do whatever you want with them, but I've made it to where these are like the kick is printed, ready to go. You plop that in your mix, you build your mix around it, and you shouldn't have too much tweaking to do to any of these sub kicks. And then the kick clicks, it's a two-part thing here. You just pick which click you want. I've got 1 through 5, more on the way, and I show how to use them, how to get them in. It really is as simple as boom. And in this one, I did just duck a little bit of that kind of 13K, 10K up there was a little bit much for me with that particular sample. But yeah, let's show the drums. Here's the original kick. And Trigger doesn't let us do that. We got to turn it actually off. But great kick drum. Sounds great. But and it's following the dynamics.
With clean hands, pure hearts, who shall ascend the hill of the Lord? Come on, pure hearts, who shall stand in this holy place? Clean hands.
And then you got the snare sounding all natural like. Sounds pretty good, right? For being that hyper real sound. We've got the live snare top and bottom in. Cool. Here's those without any processing. Sounds fine, but we want to get rid of the bleed and then we blended it. Now I have not automated the snare trigger. I don't know that I'm going to because I kind of like that. I may automate like the snare bottom mic up here. Yeah, so in solo it sounds like a gunshot, but
Who shall stand in this holy place?
the snare bottom might really be nice to have up, and we want to do automation, volume automation. Let's pull that up like 6 or 7 dB.
Who shall stand in this holy place?
We're gonna actually make it fade out a little bit. We're gonna pull it up even more. That sounded pretty good.
Who shall stand in this holy place?
And then we'll go through. I know we were talking vocals a little bit here. We did a little bit of everything, but we're gonna come in here. I'm gonna do, what is that going to? All drums. So I would come up here and automate that flam 3 or 4 dB probably. That second hit is not catching, so we got to go to trigger. And I have it there for a reason. So what we're going to do is actually create that flam. We'll right click and duplicate the track, but no active playlist. Correct. Cool. And then for the second one, we're going to cut it and move it to its own track. And we're good. And then I don't know if I gave us headroom to do what I'm about to do, but I'm going to try to make, let's pull that. The kick sub, a dB might be all we get, but the kick click, we could probably pull it 4 or 5 dB. But we got to do it for these first two as well, and not the bottom. too much, but I think you get the point. Just kind of going and automating those, tighten them up a bit. And I would even say that's a candidate for, from then on out, after that fill, give some top end, a little more click in the kick, even just a couple dB to help it cut through. So you got these couple of guys, man, they're worshiping, but they are right by the mic in the crowd mics. So what we would do there is we would have to probably automate an EQ. Let's see where the meat of their vocal is. I hate to do that, but for the sake of distraction, something like that, let's find where they actually...
You sing our Jesus, who is...
I mean, we can just automate it down probably. Let's see what that does. Pull it up. Crossfade between them.
Our Jesus, who is...
Come on. We're working now. Clean that up a little bit. Doesn't silence them. It just kind of smack the mic. Warms them up a little bit. Keeps them from being too forward.
You sing our Jesus, who is this? Come on. I want to know him resurrected.
So we need to do that for multiple sections, but I'm going to leave it for now. We'll just undo all that. And I'm going to put a note to audio suite crowd when dudes tick are too loud. I don't know. That'll make sense later. Right on. Well, I went a little longer than I thought I was going to. I just want to hang out for a minute, but great questions. I appreciate you guys. Jackie said tips for getting the vocals to sit in the Hey, tip number one is have a great live sound engineer. The guy who recorded this, I don't know him, but he did a great job. The vocals were well compressed. They weren't over compressed. They sound good. And it made our job easy. So if you want to see the entire process unfold, I definitely recommend Mixing Modern Worship, because in there we have a raw vocal with no compression, and we take it from start to finish. We also have done that. We mixed Rico's Daughter from scratch, raw. I don't know that there was any compression committed. And then I think there's something else on the channel that we did that was very raw, and the dynamics were all over the place. But you can see this is pretty even. It's kind of a toss-up for us with the vocal processing on this one, but you guys rock, man. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Still got people hanging out, even though we're just blabbing and all that. But if you haven't already, like, subscribe. Would love to have you on the channel, in the community. And then, of course, check out the links in the description. We got some free stuff for you. Got the Headphone Mixing Blueprint. And if you made it this far, I would love to drop a comment if you're watching the replay back. Let me know you made it to the end. And with that, I will see you guys in the next stream. I hope you have a great night. God bless.